Today I will try to speak about the most famous metal band from Israel, and I'm speaking about Orphaned Land. Orphaned Land that they call themselves, and they are right, pioneers of Oriental metal. Okay, Orphaned Land, they started in the beginning of the 90s, in the year 91, if I'm right. In this year they had the name Resurrection. Afterwards, in 92, they took the name Orphaned Land. This is a paraphrase from the name Promised Land. Okay. Until today, they have two original members inside the group, Kobi Farhi and also Uri Zelcha, the bassist of the band. And I have the privilege to be a good friend of Uri. And also another member that he was from the beginning, Yossi Sassi, he was in the band until 2014. Okay, I will try today to rank their albums from worst to best. And also I have to say that together with Orphaned Land, other also famous bands from Israel, that they started to be more famous to the general metal scene. They were also bands as Melech Es, or as Aralu, and as Shalem. But Orphaned Land, they became the most famous band from Israel inside the metal scene. Okay, so Orphaned Land, they started from small towns of Israel, Petach Tikva and Bat Yam, and from the 90s they are here until today. Also, in this year, in the year 2020, Iron Maiden, they are coming for the second time in Israel. Okay. And Orphaned Land will be one of the bands that they are open their show of Iron Maiden. Also, they opened for Metallica and for other famous bands here in Israel. Okay, so until today, from the first album until today, until 2018, 1 year before. They have until today 6 studio albums, and let's rank them. So, in the 6th place for me comes their 5th album by the name All Is One. All Is One, that in 2013, this album. For me, I put it in this place because also many followers of Orphaned Land, they love very much this album. But for me, I put it in this place because it's a little bit more Oriental than metal. Okay, a little bit more Oriental. They have 1 or 2 songs that they are in the way that of the old school Orphaned Land, with more death metal style, but in the whole album they are not death metal at all. They are even more Oriental. Okay. In the 5th place, I will put their last album of 2018, and I'm speaking about the album Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs, their 6th album. And I can say that unfortunately that I put it in this place, in the 5th place, but let's say that this is a very good album, Okay, this is the new style of Orphaned Land, yeah, but they are very, very, very good. Also, here they have famous guests. They have Thomas from At the Gates, they have Hansi from Blind Guardian, and they have also Steve Hackett from Genesis. Now, in the 4th place, for me, in the 4th place, I will put the album The Never Ending Way of Our Warrior. Also a very, very good album. In this album, they were also a bit more progressive. Maybe because the mix also is from Steven Wilson. Okay, maybe this is also another reason. A very, very also good album. That this is between their first period to their second period. Also, they start this album with a famous song of them, Sapari, that they have also inside the song. This is a song of Oriental Jews from Yemen, also in a metal style. A very, very good album in all the way. Also, they play a game with the name Or Warrior, because Or in Hebrew is light. Okay, the warrior. They also the word is in the ending. They have it has or. Okay, in this place also I have to say that they made the split in 2013. They made the split with another band of Israel, a progressive metal band that is also very good. The band Am HaSefer. Am HaSefer in Hebrew it means the people of the book. And they made a split in 2013, Orphaned Land together with Am HaSefer, in the split by the name Canaan. That also here they are speaking about the biblical story of Abraham, Sarah, Hagar, Yitzhak, and Ishmael inside this album, this story, and this is also the split. Yeah, Orphaned Land and Am HaSefer together. And if we are speaking about Am HaSefer, they have also one album until today. Together with the split, they have their debut album in 2008, a very good progressive metal album of Am HaSefer, Exodus, Slaves for Life. That also they took the history, the biblical story of the Exodus from the Egypt and of Moses in this album. Now, and also Kobi Farhi, he sang and in this album of Am HaSefer, the first their debut album of Exodus, Slaves for Life. So now, in the third place for me comes their debut album of Orphaned Land. I'm speak about the album of 1994, Shahara. A very, very, very good album. Also, they had a demo before by the name The Beloved's Cry in the 1993. A very, very, very good album also as a debut album. I am coming from Greece, and for me this album is very close to the style of melodic atmospheric death metal as bands of like Septic Flesh from Greece, their first works of Septic Flesh. Also as the band Nightfall from Greece, and some kind of style like Tiamat from Finland. Okay, this style also very oriental, but in a very good way. And now, in the second and first place, always I have I don't know what I will put first of all. So, in the second place, for me comes the album Mabul, their third album of 2004. Mabul, the story of the three sons of Sheven. Okay, here Kobi Farhi he took also some kind of influences of the stories, the concept of seven sons of Iron Maiden, but not only. Of course, the whole concept is coming from the biblical story of the flood of Noah, and from other also mythological stories of other peoples and other nations. A very Mabul, the name Mabul is also flood in Hebrew. A very, very good album, an album that has also their old style of melodic, atmospheric death metal, and also progressive style. A very, very, very good album. Many people prefer this album as their beloved or the best album of Orphaned Land, and I understand it. But in any case, in the first place, I will put their second album by the name El Nora Alila. The name comes from a very special prayer, Jewish prayer of the Day of Atonement of Judaism, Yom Kippur, from the day of Yom Kippur. A very special album. This is for me the best album of Orphaned Land. Also, Mabur is very good. I'm not saying not, but El Nora Alila, the best. Of 1996. Here we have very good songs as Find Yourself, Discover God, Like Fire to Water, The Truth Within, and Not Only. For me, their best album until now. So, from Israel and from Jerusalem, stay metal and stay heavy.